amigos. Javier here for Hum of the Earth. Today is pretty exciting. We are in Cusco, which was once the capital of the Incan Empire. In fact, today I actually learned that Inca is actually only the word for the king, and the people were actually the Quechua people. And when the Spaniards came over, they mispronounced a lot of Quechua words, Cusco being one of them. It was actually initially Cusco, which means center, because Cusco was kind of in the middle of the Incan Empire when it was at its height, which went all the way to Chile, all the way north to, I believe, Colombia. So this was kind of a center point for their empire. Fun fact, a lot of the locals here in Peru and in Bolivia still speak Quechua. I don't think it's worth paying 70 cents. As did most of South America at this time in the world, in the early 1530s, the Incan Empire was conquered by the Spaniards. The Spaniards kind of got lucky in the sense that the Incan Empire was on a decline due to infighting between leaders, etc., and they were able to fairly easily defeat the Incan Empire thanks to horses and guns and stuff like that gave them an advantage on the battlefield. Right now we're in the historical center of town, which is where you'll find a lot of the colonial churches and buildings, as well as the San Pedro Market, the biggest in the city. In fact, the San Pedro Market, built in 1925, was actually designed by Mr. Eiffel, the same person who designed the Eiffel Tower. No gracias. Lots of offers for fresh fruit juice. So here you can find clothing made from alpaca and llama. A lot of fruits and vegetables, a lot of which coming from the Amazon, which means fruits like the custard apple and maca that you won't be hard pressed to find anywhere else. And a good place to get coca leaves for altitude sickness if you're planning on doing some hikes in Cusco. It's also the cheapest place to get lunch in town. and a very popular one. A great place if you love potatoes, which was one of the original and main produce of the indigenous people. One of the reasons why they came to Cusco was for the fertile land. 3,000 types of potatoes, 300 of which can be found here in Cusco. A lot of potatoes. This is Plaza de Armas, one of the few plazas in Peru which features two huge churches. This is the cathedral here, and it was once actually a Incan temple for the Spanish conquered. No, gracias.
It's very good friend. It's possible to comprar.
A lot of offers for massages. It's probably the 12th time so far walking around.
Is it llama or llama? Llama. Doesn't it spell with two?
So the Spaniards, being of the Catholic religion, destroyed most of the temples of the Inca people and built their own churches. And nowhere in the city is the phenomenon better observed than right here at the Convento de Santo Domingo. That's because the Santo Domingo temple was built over the Quechua temple called Corichanca, I believe. And these are the actual Incan structures here, the Incan stones. They were so good at carving stones that they all fit perfectly without the need for substance to kind of glue them together, which is pretty impressive. So this was a very important place for the Quechua. It was the Temple of the Sun, which is one of the, if not the most important gods for the Quechua people. And it's believed that this was the most important temple for the Quechua people. Only the very most highest of society, priests, rulers, were allowed in the premises. And for a regular Quechua to be allowed to even touch the temple, they had to go through a fasting ritual for several years, only to be allowed to touch the outside with one finger for a few moments, which speaks to the importance of this place, the Temple of the Sun. So at the time that the temple was originally built, the Quechua believed that gold was the tears of the sun. So the walls were actually lined with gold. So naturally, when the Spaniards came and conquered, they took all the gold, boiled it down, and attempted to send it to Spain. I say attempted because apparently only 2% of the gold from this temple made it back to Spain. But 2% was 285,000 tons. So there was a massive amount of gold here. The reason why only 2% of the gold made it back to Spain, or the main reason, is because there was royally sanctioned, quote-unquote, legal pirates from England who would intercept these boats and take the gold for the glory of the Queen of England. So after the Spaniards took over the temple, they gave it over to the Dominicans, which were the first Catholic Christian order in Latin America. That's when they destroyed the majority of the old temple and created the Convento de Santo Domingo. So you can distinguish the Incan stones from the Spaniard stones by the fact that the Incan stones have always a trapezoid shape, fit perfectly together without the need for mortar, and the Spaniard ones are typically more square, rectangular, and have quite a bit of mortar. Enjoyed this tour and history of Cusco, Peru. Definitely a beautiful city with a very interesting history. While I was here in Cusco, I also did a video of the best affordable places to eat in Cusco. Cusco is a city with a lot of awesome stuff to eat. Not all of it is cheap, but that's why I made that video. My channel has a lot more videos of cool places that I got to see in Peru. So you can see that by going to the YouTube channel and selecting the Peru playlist. I was in Peru as part of my journey bicycling from Canada to Argentina. If you'd like to see an interactive map of everywhere that I went and everything that I did, I have that available over on my website, followthehumoftheearth.com. Where you can click on the different locations and see the blog posts and videos I've made of those places. Crazy dogs. Yeah, if you'd like to follow my continuing adventures all the way to Patagonia and beyond, you can subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.